Yeah, I'll do that. You can start.
Hi guys, a very good afternoon to one and all. Once again, welcome to BYJU'S Exam Prep. I am Srinivas and I'm here to talk about something called as profile and its importance in getting into an IIM. In fact, what we're going to do is take a look at what exactly constitutes a profile. What is actually a good profile, what is a bad profile, what institutes, especially the IIMs, which of these IIMs look at the profile, more importantly, what do they look at in the profile, okay? And then we're going to take a look at what are the non-IIMs which take students without looking at the profile. So this session is basically there to answer all your queries with respect to the importance of profile. So without further ado, let's start off. So what I have, the agenda, as I said, is we will start by understanding firstly what are the IIMs. The reason why I have put this, the IIM classification, is each IIM behaves in a certain fashion when it comes to profiles. So we will understand the basic. There are 20 IIMs. I'm sure you guys know that, but if you don't know that, there's a slide which explains or which lists down all the 20. We'll quickly go through what or how these IIMs differ. How do they behave? And then we're going to look at the entrance criteria. What is the process? I'm sure you all know, but it's a very quick reiteration of the process. Then we're going to talk about what exactly is the profile, which is the most important part here. I'm going to spend some time, really good amount of time, trying to look at what constitutes a profile, what are the factors that go into it, and which of these will be the ones which the ones which actually make a difference for you. Then we're going to talk about what is the role of this profile in your entire entrance process. How much of a benefit can a profile give you? Right, then of course we will look at what are the effects. In that discussion we're going to look at which would be a good profile, bad profile, what is the advantage. Then finally we're going to look at what happens if you have a bad profile, how should you go forward, which I'm sure quite a few of you are nervous about it. So if you have a technically bad profile, so first we'll understand what it is, and then we will see if you have a bad profile, what should you do going forward. Should you give up CAT or is there an alternative? Okay, well, good afternoon, Ankit, Shreyas, Vijay, and hello to you too. And I think world of competition. I can't see the chat once again. Right, who is this world of competition? Can you please tell me your name? Abhiram, good afternoon. Right, so let's start by understanding the 20 IIMs. There are a total of 20 IIMs. I have listed them all with the year of their establishment. The oldest, two of the oldest IIMs happen to be your Ahmedabad, followed by your Calcutta. In fact, both of them were established in 1961. Then came in Bangalore, then Lucknow, and Kozhikode and Indore have come in 1996. These six are called as the old IIMs. Although you can very clearly see Ahmedabad and Calcutta happens to be the oldest, and even Bangalore, they were way before, I'm sure any of you listening to this video have been even born. In fact, it's even before I was born. But again, we have new IIMs. These new IIMs, these were relatively new, 2007, 2008 onwards. In fact, Shillong is an institute which is neither called an old nor called a new IIM. It was somewhere in between 2007, but after that we have Rohtak, Ranchi, Raipur, Udaipur, Trichy and Kashipur, which have established themselves in those respective years that has been mentioned here. Now, why have I given you these? Basically to tell you that the criteria usually depends on their experience. So the institutes have been experimenting, and believe me when I say this, they really have been experimenting over the years, trying to understand what is the best way to take in students. So there have been years where they were GDs, group discussions, then they moved away from it. Now they're looking at something called as a WAT. Earlier the interview processes used to be different. Now they have changed, rather the process is the same. What I meant is the interview nature used to be different. They have modified, they have, there used to be interviews for 40 minutes, 45 minutes earlier. Now quite a few of the institutes are finishing off the interviews in like 10 minutes, 12 minutes. So they have tried to, look at different ways in which to take students slowly over the last 15 years, 10 years. Institutes have also started bringing in the profile. Earlier, if you go back to pre-2000 or till 2007, 8, in fact, when I wrote my CAT exam in 2007, there was no criteria called profile. It was purely on the CAT score. But I think from 2008 or 2009, in fact, when we wrote 2006 and 2007, that duration, I think Bangalore was the only institute which was looking at profile. That I remember this very clearly because one of my toppers from my college, while the friend of mine got lesser percentile in terms of CAT, he got a call from Bangalore and only Bangalore because he was the gold medalist when it comes to the mechanical engineering department. So because of that, because his graduation is excellent and his ACADs are really good, he got a call only from Bangalore, and all the other, at that point in time, if you notice, only these 6 were there. Even Shillong wasn't really there in 2007. They just established at that point. So, at that point, all the other 5 institutes, that is except Bangalore, the other 5 were looking at purely at a CAT score. Bangalore started this trend of adding something more, not just CAT. So they realized that it's not just people who can solve a bunch of questions. They started looking at other things, and that's what the whole idea today is about the session. What are these other things and why are they important? Why did they not just say that, okay, you get a 99 percentile, I'll give you a call? Why are they looking at your 10th and 12th class scores, which are like 5-6 years ago or 7 years ago for you? Why are they looking at graduation, which is probably 1 or 2 years ago if you are working, or if you're a fresher, something that you're still trying to finish off? Why are these things existing in their entrance process? So we'll take a look at that. Okay, I'm getting a question from John. Says 10-10-10 profile hai, mera to sectional or overall kitna percentile lagega? I'm a gem with 18 months work experience. John, for which college are you looking at? You need to ask me for which college. For example, despite having a 10-10-10, if you are asking me and a gem, that is general engineer and male, with 1.5 years of work experience, if you're asking me for IIM Calcutta what percentile you need, definitely I will say you need a 99.6 plus, 99.6 plus, because it doesn't matter for Calcutta whether you have 85 or 100% in your 10th and 12th, because they will give same marks to anybody who gets above 80% in your 10th and 12th. So that's what I'm saying. But again, if you ask me in Ahmedabad what percentile you need, probably at your, you have a very good work experience, 18 months, and by the time you write your CAT, it will be probably about 22, 24 months. And you have a perfect 10-10-10, 10 CGPA in 10th class, 10 CGPA in 12th class, and 10 in your graduation. That's like a dream. So at that, I would probably say an Ahmedabad will be probably giving you a call at about 99.3. But if you look at a Calcutta, you'll still require a 99.6 and above. The reason is Calcutta gives everybody above 80% marks the same weightage. So getting a 90 or 100 doesn't really matter as far as Calcutta is concerned. Okay, but anyway, so that's that. But again, Lucknow can give you a call at 99 also, because you have got 10-10-10. So Lucknow gives a lot of weightage to the 10th, 12th, and your graduation also. So yes, you might get a call at 99 also. But again, we'll have to wait and see, depending upon you're an engineer, right? So yeah, work experience that does play a role. At a 99.1, 99.2, you might get a Lucknow call. Anyway, so I'm not getting into what percentiles you should be getting and things like that, guys, because as I said, all this depends on the weightages for various colleges. I've just given you an example because one of the students asked, but I will not take up questions where you ask me, sir, mera 8 CGPA, mera 10 CGPA, how much should I score? If I start doing that, then an entire session will be going on a tangent. So that is not the purpose here, but after listening to the session, you will be able to calculate your own score and requirement. So that's the whole idea of this session over here. Okay. Abhiram, I will talk about what is a good profile. Please hold on. So again, please don't ask me what is a good profile or is my profile good. I will discuss what is a good profile, my friends. So please hold on. That is there as a part of my discussion. Just hold on for about 15-20 minutes. आज का session ज़्यादा लंबा नहीं है. I'll try to wrap it up by about 30-35 minutes, provided you let me carry forward. Go on. If I keep answering the same questions which is anyway covered, then we are going to unnecessarily waste time. So whenever I get a question which I feel is not there in my PPT or not as a part of my discussion, I will take it up. But if there is a question which I feel is anyway going to be covered, I will not be taking that up. Okay, I hope that's fair enough for all of you. Okay, Swarnava Kundu says, does it matter if I have a 3-year drop between 12th and graduation for financial and medical reason? Swarnava, it doesn't really matter. Zero effect. You have a drop after your graduation, or you have a drop after your 12th class, till your interview, the first round of your process doesn't matter. Okay, what matters is, did you get your good score in your 10th and 12th and your graduation? Did you get a good score in your CAT, your gender, your education stream, and whether you have got a good score in your CAT and work experience? So these are the things that matter, which we'll get into right now. But yeah, this is something which I'm particularly picking up. Thanks for that, Mr. Kundu, that you're asking me this. A lot of students might be asking or having these doubts. Sir, मेरा एक supply लगा है, मेरा एक backlog था, so I had to spend another 6 months, so I could not start my work. Or I have a year drop in between. After my 12th, I prepared for my JEE, so I had a year drop. So all these are not issues at all. They will not, I'm repeating myself, they will not affect you negatively. Neither they will be positive. Basically, there is no effect for them. Okay? The only effect will come in if your score values are lower. Okay? ये बहुत एक चिंता का विषय था मेरे लिए. Good, Kundu, I am happy that I've been able to help you out. हाँ, आप अगर interview में जाएंगे, if you go to the interview, they might look at it and they might definitely question. I mean, might and definite should not be used in the same sentence. Yeah, they will definitely question is what I believe. They will ask you, why do you have this 3-year gap? You have a valid reason, talk about it. They might want to ask you more about it, you know. Medical reason hai, so what exactly was it? If it is for your own medical reason, you should know all about the problem that you faced, the diagnosis part of it, the medical side of it. You know, they can ask you questions on that. Or if it is about finance, they will not drill you much. Agar, you know, you had a financial issue, they will usually not make you feel uncomfortable because of that. But yes, if it is a medical issue, they will ask you politely, how are you now? How has it been? What was the exact issue? They can ask you. So yes, but that is when you go to the interview, right? As of now, to get the call, interview call, chinta mat lo. Okay. Right, so these are the, then we have these institutes called as the baby IIMs, which have been established 2015 and 2016 onwards. The last of the IIMs to be established is Jammu, 2016. Okay, in fact, these IIMs barely had about 4 or 5 batches coming out, or 6 batches coming out till now. So that's the reason why we call them as the babies, the new IIMs and the old IIMs. Now, the reason why I'm putting this is almost all the old IIMs have some importance of profile. The importance could be very high or it could be very low. But yes, to get into the old IIMs, the profile does matter. And there is a decent amount of weightage given to the profiles. When you're talking about the new IIMs and the baby IIMs, quite a few of the new IIMs and quite a few of the baby IIMs, their requirement in profile is not that much. Okay, so the reason is, you know, especially so when you have 20 IIMs, they also have a problem in getting good students. So when I'm looking at good students who can crack this exam called CAT, then I also put a condition saying that मुझे 10th में भी अच्छे marks चाहिए, 12th में भी अच्छे marks चाहिए. They've realized that it's difficult to get everybody who's consistent, because people who are consistent in the 10th, 12th graduation anyway are getting good scores and getting into the old IIMs. So the students, the pool that is left out for them usually are the ones who became serious later on, who are not the guys who are serious in the beginning, that is in your 10th and 12th. So they have more or less kind of, you know, kept that part away. I'm not saying everybody is doing it, but yes, for example, Trichy or a couple of other institutes which have Sirmoor and all, I don't think they are looking at profile at all. So they'll just look at your CAT score and say if it is meeting their requirement, then they'll give you a call. So that's basically the idea. But yeah, take it for granted that the old IIMs, you will face a problem getting into them if your profile is bad. Okay, well, let's move on. So what is the exam entrance criteria? What happens in this entire process? I'm sure you know that. I have broken it up into 4 steps, but actually you can, mix up these two and these two, call it as round 1 and round 2. So typically any website you go, anywhere you read, आपको 2 ही round मिलेंगे, but I have split that into 4 steps. That's okay. So step number 1 is basically writing your CAT exam. CAT आप exam जब आप लिखोगे, when you write the CAT exam, based on your score and your profile. As I said, based on your score and your profile, you will get an invitation to attend the second round. Okay, second round is your GD and PI. Now this profile, as I said, for almost all the old IIMs, it matters. For quite a few of the new IIMs and the baby IIMs, it does not matter. Okay, so I will have another session, not this one, but I'll have another follow-up session of this where I will purely talk about the criteria for each college. So which colleges profile matters, which colleges profile does not matter, what is the percentage of weightage, how will the scores, what score is required for you to get into this particular college given a particular 10th and 12th profile score. So I'm going to have a separate session where I will, you will get answers to all your questions. Ki sir, I have 8 CGPA, 10 CGPA, मुझे कितना percentile चाहिए? You have to get into this college. So for that, I will have a separate session. So today we are going to just understand the importance of profile and profile में होता क्या है? What exactly happens in a profile? Okay, right. So in the step 2, you will be getting shortlisted for the round of group discussion, rather WAT and PIs into through your CAT score and your profile. Then the step 3 is you will go and give these interviews and WAT and GD if applicable. Then the last step is based on your performance in your round 2 and based on your performance in CAT, and add to that your profile. All of these put together, you will get a final selection into the institute. Okay, so these are the basic criteria that I'm sure I've covered this in a lot of exams, a lot of lectures of mine or sessions of mine. So I'll not be taking this too much of time on this. I've just put the slide over here. But now let's take a look at what is a profile, what all goes into a profile. Now these are the factors which we can call as a profile. But the point you need to realize is not every college, I repeat, not every IIM looks at all of them. For example, if you look at my alma mater, I am from IIM Indore. Indore looks at your 10th class, 12th class, and then it looks at your gender. That's it. And of course your CAT score. It does not look at everything else. Okay, it does not look at anything else. If you look at, let's say, Calcutta looks at 10th class, 12th class. It does not look at graduation. It looks at work experience and it looks at gender. If you look at Ahmedabad looks at everything. Ahmedabad looks at everything. Bangalore looks at everything. Lucknow looks at everything. So, as I said, they will pick and choose some things from here. So, what are these things? The first thing happens to be your 10th class score. What is the score that you got in your 10th class? Again, the good thing about these institutes is they will not directly compare a 10 CGPA in your CBSE syllabus with a 80 or a 90 percentage in a state board syllabus. Even in comparison of state board, they will not say Andhra state board is same as, let's say, a West Bengal state board. So they have a process of normalization for the 10th and 12th score itself. So what is this normalization? They have, so if you look at the old institutes, the ones that actually give weightage to your 10th and 12th, they have years and years of data. उनके पास इतना data है, उनको पता है कि on an average, how much does a CBSE student get? How much does a ICSE student get? How much does a West Bengal state board student get? How much does a Madhya Pradesh state board student get? Or a Telangana or an Andhra student get? So they have this idea. Based on this idea, based on this data that they have, what they do is in this process of normalization, they will say, so if my understanding is correct, I typically use this West Bengal because I had a lot of students from there and I've heard this a lot, that their getting score in the board exams is not that easy. Especially if you are graduation, BBA, BCom from that area, it's not very easy for you to get good scores. So let us say if you are a 10th class student from the West Bengal State Board and you got a 80%, it might be considered equivalent to an Andhra or a Telangana student getting a 90%. So they will not say 80 is equal to 80, so they will put an 80 student here equivalent to a 90 student here, because it all depends on how the board behaves or gives awards marks to the students. So that data that is what they have. So don't worry whether your board is going to play a negative role for you. It does not. They take care of that. But yes, the score what you get matters. Similarly for your 12th score also. And as I already mentioned, it is not just the score, it's a combination of score and board. So the board that you are from does matter, 10th and 12th. Right? Now, what about the graduation stream? Graduation stream is which branch, or not necessarily branch, which stream or discipline are you from? Are you an engineer? Are you a doctor or a medicine person from a medical background? Are you a lawyer? I mean, lawyers do come in. Doctors do come in. In fact, when I was in my IIM, we had 3 or 4 lawyers and about 2 medical practitioners who came in to do an MBA. So yes, we have people, of course, commerce ke to bahut sare honge, engineer to bhar ke rahenge. So engineers are the most common of the lot. The next common, but not as much as engineers, are your BBA or BCom graduates. Then the lesser percentage will be your other areas like people from arts, or people from arts is the next. Then you have very few CAs, very few medical practitioners, very few lawyers. They do come in too. So which discipline are you from? What is the stream that you have studied? That matters. Okay, the graduation stream matters. Now what do I mean by it matters? What matters, or how it matters, is depending upon the institute, quite a few of these institutes give extra marks called as diversity factor. Okay, stream diversity factor. So what it means is, if you are an engineer, you'll get 0, because everybody, at least 70%, 80% of the people anyway are going to be engineers in the college. So engineers will not get any extra marks. However, if you are a commerce graduate, you will get some extra marks. If you are an arts student, you'll get some more extra marks. If you are from a law profession, you'll get even more extra marks, something like that. So they will award extra marks in the time of calculating your, final, what is called as a composite score. In fact, I have taken another session, you can see one of my sessions which I have done very recently, where I have explained the process of this composite score. I have taken IIM Calcutta as an example, and I explained how this composite score is calculated. So in calculation of this composite score, they will give extra marks to the stream diversity. If, again, not all institutes do it, but as I said, Indore does not do it. But yes, I think an Ahmedabad does it, Bangalore does it in different ways, but the bottom line is they will give some benefit for not very common branches, not very common streams. Okay? I have got a couple of questions. Rupesh Kumar says, why sir science? I don't understand, Rupesh. What is your question? Why, I'm saying, why is it that they give extra weightage? Okay, that's a good question. Why do they give extra weightage? The reason is very simple, guys. MBA is supposed to be about learning from different people. See, school में क्या होता है आपका, या college में क्या होता है? You learn from your faculty, you learn from your teacher. Your teacher is good, usually you like the subject. Your teacher is bad, you'll not like the subject. But in an MBA, you're learning from multiple sources. आपका faculty तो होगा ही, library अगर कभी गए नहीं, so you'll have to visit the library a lot, or at least nowadays everything is in digital format. Research के लिए you have to read a lot of books, you learn a lot from the books, and most importantly, you will learn a lot from your peers, basically from your friends, people in your batch because they come from varied backgrounds, they come from different experiences. See here, unlike, let's say I'm an engineer, so I keep using engineering terminology again and again and example, so forgive me that. अगर मैं mechanical engineering पढ़ रहा हूँ, so people will all learn about an engine only. सबको engine के बारे में पढ़ना है या सबको thermodynamics पढ़ना है, which is what the faculty will teach, which is what the book will teach. But when it comes to an MBA, you are not learning about one item, you are learning about a business. And when you're dealing with a business has multiple faces. It has multiple dimensions. So if I have a friend of mine in my batch who was in sales and joined an IIM or my college, he will tell me how sales happens, not just the bookish knowledge in real life. I will learn from him. If I've been working in a manufacturing company as an engineer, I will come with my 1 year or 2 years of experience. I will talk to people how manufacturing units work. That is the knowledge they will get from me. If somebody comes from, let's say, a law profession who's done, let's say, 5-year integrated course, been a practicing lawyer for about 1 or 2 years, now has come to an IIM, they talk about their experience there. कोई fresher आ गया है, कोई knowledge नहीं है. He will take all of these knowledge or all this information and learn without even working in these industries. This is one of the richest experiences that students can get in an MBA college. Now this can only happen if the college ensures, that there are people belonging to different domains. अभी problem क्या होता है? When I give an exam like CAT, अभी CAT, what happens in CAT? You have English, you have logic, you have maths. Now, almost all the IIT guys, typically or IITs and NITs, the good guys from engineering crack the verbal section, they crack the DILR, they manage decently in English. The problem comes with art students, the problem comes with legal students who do not have to have, dealt with maths at all. So they will fare very poorly in the maths section, or even if they try a lot in general. I'm not saying there are always exceptions. I had some really good 99.9 percentiles in quant from non-math background also. But in general, I'm saying that they will have a problem and they will not be able to match as much in score as the engineers. So if I say only engineers only CAT score मैं पकड़ूंगा, so what happens? Everybody who gets a top scorer, more or less 99% of them will be your engineers only. So मेरा पूरा batch engineer से बढ़ जाएगा. So what will the learning give? That guy will talk about engine, I will talk about thermodynamics, he will talk about refrigeration, the other guy will talk about flying engines. That's all. But at the end of the day, it's the same set of people thinking and breaking their heads in the same way. There is no diversity. So that is why they say we need people from different domains. So that is the reason why they say, while I understand you are from a domain which is different, because of your difference, you don't have to work as hard as an engineer to get a top score. I will give you extra marks which will augment, which will kind of help you even if you get a bit lower in your CAT. Right? Rupesh, I hope I understood or explained this. That is the reason why they give extra weightage to these aspects also. Himanshu Jungare, CET is easy compared to CAT. Why? Well, CET is easy relatively to CAT. Again, there's nothing called why or no. There are MBA exams which are difficult. Then CAT could be, in fact, CAT itself keeps changing year on year. If you look at ZAT and CAT, sometimes ZAT is difficult, sometimes CAT is difficult. Guys, it is not about why is something easy, why is not something difficult. The end point is the competition is still the same. Right? You still need to be in the top 1 percentile or top 0.5 percentile to get into the top 10 colleges or top 5 colleges that are there in that exam. So yes, there are different ways in which a student can be tested. So if you look at why CET is easy, they bring down the standard. Basically, they say one way of understanding that. So if you look at CAT, what do they do? IIMs, what do they do? They know that the exam is difficult, so they are giving benefit to the profile, benefit of the profile. Whereas CET colleges, they don't want to get into that headache. So what are they doing? They'll say that, look, I'll give you basic maths, which anybody can solve. तो मैं ये नहीं बोलूँगा बाद में कि it is unfair to people without maths. I will not say that. So what they are saying is, look, I will make it so easy that you have to score in all the sections. English में LR, DI, GK also, and your maths also. Then only you'll be a topper. which means you have to consistently perform across the board, and that can be done for anybody. It doesn't have to be somebody from an engineering background or somebody from this or that background. Basically, the level is brought down to a position where anybody from any background can become a topper. And that is the idea with which an exam like a CET or a CMAT is conducted. So each exam has a different objective. You know, the objective actually for every exam is to get the best students, but here the objective is get students from everywhere, saying that I will not bother about the profile, bus marks leke, I'll look at the top marks and I'll take it. Whereas CAT and IIMs, they go by a different idea. They say that, look, exam marks will be there, but I will also, give weightage for students coming from other areas, so that there is a good amount of students from different disciplines. In fact, if you look at colleges abroad, if you look at, let's say, a Harvard or a Stanford, the top-notch colleges in the world, they not only look at discipline, they look at country-wise quota also. So they will have India mein se itne hi students chahiye mujhe. They will not take more students even if there are students good. So let us say India, there are 100 students who are applying, all 100 are good. In fact, let's say India 100 students are better than, let's say, all the students in Europe. Just as a hypothetical example. The 100 students in India are better than all the students in Europe. Still, according to the quota, if India is supposed to get only 6 or 7 admissions, they will give only the top 7 admissions. Okay, they will go to Europe, and if Europe is supposed to have, let's say, 15 or 20 admissions, they will take 20 people from there. The reason is again simple here. The reason is they want diversity and global diversity. They want people from China, people from India, people from, let's say, Sri Lanka, people from US, people from Europe, people from South America. All of these places, they should learn about each other's countries, their experiences, their culture. That is what they want to incorporate in their domain, in their college. So yes, this at a larger scale happens in that way. Okay, so that's what happens. Anyway, graduation stream, as I said, does matter, and of course graduation marks to matter karenge hi. Then the next thing that matters is your work experience. So here it's the number of months that matters. It does not matter, again I repeat, it does not matter where you worked. A lot of students ask me this question: sir, is my marketing work going to help me? Or I have done an IT work, will it be bad for me? Guys, there is no such thing called as good work or bad work in Indian context. Yes, when you're talking about going to a university abroad, especially the big names that you heard, there the work quality matters. India mein work quantity only matters in these IIMs at least. So a 2-year experienced guy from an IT is same as a 2-year experienced guy from an investment bank, is same as a 2-year experienced guy, let's say, in a teaching profession. All of them will get the same marks when it comes to work experience. So it is the quantity, not the quality, that matters. Yeah, in fact, somebody could have been on bench for 1.5 years as an IT guy. He'll still get the same experience, same marks when it comes to work experience. And of course, the last thing is gender, which is not in your hands. I mean, hey, it's a binary. It's either you're getting marks for it or you're not getting marks for it. All girls will get some marks depending upon the college, the institute you're applying to. All guys will get 0 straight away. Okay, so these are the things that constitute a profile. This is what a profile is made up of. Now, based on this, some colleges will pick some criteria and add it into their admission process. Okay, so what does it mean? So, role of a profile. So, as I said, in some colleges, 0 effect. They do not consider profile at all. They'll just say CAT score lunga main or I'll give you a call. In some, there is a decent weightage. For example, if you look at Ahmedabad or Bangalore, they have about 30%, 35% weightages given to your profile. In some cases, horribly high. That is my college, my alma mater. I don't know, I'm still, I'm not sure why do they do that. Probably they have their own good reason. But one of the highest weight of profile is given by IIM Indore. You can look at the numbers here. IIM Indore has 80% weightage to profile. Matlab CAT ka weightage is only 20%. Okay. So if you look at Ahmedabad, they give a 35% weightage to profile and 65% weightage to CAT. So what they do is, they will take a CAT into 65%, so 0.65 plus your profile score into 0.35. This will be called as your combined score. So final shortlisting will be based on this list. So इस list में profile plays 35% of the importance, whereas CAT plays 65% of the importance. When it comes to, let's say, college like Indore, which is on the other extreme, so CAT effect is only 0.2, 20%, and your profile is 0.8, 80%. So in fact, I don't know what reason they do it, but if you look at it, if you go to their website, you'll notice that they give 34% weightage to your 10th class, 40% weightage to the 12th class score, and 6% if you are a girl, 0 for a guy. So girls get an Indore call at a 92-93 percentile also. If you have a good 10th, good 12th class score. Now, what is good for Indore? Anything about 93-94% is good for Indore. Otherwise it's not good. 94-95% in your 10th and 12th is called good for Indore. Because the weightage is so high, okay, so if your 10th and 12th is in that range, and if you're a girl at a 92-93 percentile in CAT, you'll get a call. Okay, so that's basically happens. Again, if you look at IIM Shillong does not have any profile importance. But what they say is, we will select, so let's say 60% of the applicants are engineers. Let's say 20% are commerce. Let's say 5% are arts. Or 15% are arts, 60, 70, 80, 95. Let's say 5% are others, or others combined. So what Shillong does is, it says that, okay, because 60% of the applicants are engineers, when I call people, in my calls, let us say Shillong wants to invite 2,000 people for interviews. Isme 60% will also have to be engineers. So they will maintain the same proportionality when it comes to calling of students. So if I decide to call totally 2,000 students, then 1,200 will be engineers, because that 1,200 is 60% out of 2,000, which is the same 60% who applied. But again, that is what Shillong does. So which means some small part of the profile, which is your stream, plays a little bit of an effect. However, if you look at something like Trichy, IIM Trichy, they have absolutely no importance to profile. They basically say that, yaar, aap CAT likho, based on your CAT, we'll make a list and I'll call students. That's it. So there is nothing considered. Boy, girl, work experience, no work experience, kuch bhi farak nahi padega. So now I've given you a few examples here, right? So you ideally, if you are enthusiastic, you should go to every website and check out their the criteria, but I will do the job for you anyway in one of my upcoming sessions. Okay, so I will take a session purely on the 20 IIMs and the selection process. That itself will take another 1 hour. So that's the reason why I didn't include that over here. By the way, guys, before I move on, if you have enjoyed the session till now, and if you want to have more sessions like this, please subscribe to the channel, click on the like icon, as well as on the bell notification, so that you keep getting notifications about the upcoming sessions. Okay, so that's the role of a PI. Now this role of a profile in getting a PI call. Now here, as I said, it depends from college to college whether the profile is considered or not to get a call. However, once the first round is done, the second round mein almost every college that I know, almost every college will consider your profile also. Okay, almost all of the colleges in the second round, to get the final selection, they will look at your CAT score plus your profile plus your performance in your GD plus WAT. These things together is what will be considered, and very few colleges that I know do not look at profile here. So to get the CAT score, profile may or may not matter depending upon which college you are targeting, but to get a final selection, profile 100% matters in at least the IIMs. Okay, there are colleges where the weightage can go anywhere between 40% to 60%. Okay, In fact, yes, this is for the PI performance. Sorry, the profile weightage can go anywhere between 20 to 40%. The profile importance can go anywhere between 20 to 40% in the final selection. But the good news is the interview performance is the bulk. Almost all colleges, all the IIMs that I'm talking about, give at least 35-40% weightage to the interview performance, and it goes up to 60% weightage in the second round. So why am I putting this is, if you manage to get into the interview, you got a call. Many students have this in the back of their head, sir, mera just borderline case tha, I barely managed to get a call. Doesn't matter. Guys, because the weightage of your interview performance and WAT is so high that even if you are at the bottom of the list and just got the call, you will have a good chance to convert it provided you give a good interview. This is for all those students who had this question last year or who think they did not make it this year because their profile was bad. It is not because of the profile, it means that your interview was bad. I have seen enough students who are in that, like, you know, if I make a list who got the interview calls in descending order, they will be in the last 2 or 3 students who would have got the call. But they made it into the final list, final admission. Why? Because their interview went excellently well. So if you do really good interview, if you do a really good WAT, then I'm pretty sure you will get through. So don't worry about your profile. Yes, it matters. I'm not saying it does not matter, but it is the interview which will actually push you if you've done a good job there. Okay, so the second round, that is your interview round, almost all colleges take care or take importance or give importance to your profile. Okay. Now the question is, what is a bad profile? Universally, anything less than 80% in your 10th and 12th is bad. Anything less than 80, whether it's a CBSE, state board, anything less than 80% is bad, straight away. In graduation, anything less than 60 is bad. When I say bad, it is atrocious. I'm not saying 60 above is good, okay? I'm saying it is horrible. Less than 60, less than 80 is horrible in today's world, in India at least, when you're talking about your 10th, 12th and graduation scores. What is good? What is good? Good is above 90 in these two and above 80 here. This is called as good. In between का range जो है, if your range is in between this 80 और इसके बीच में, and this is 60, so 60 to 80 के बीच में, 80 to 90, 80 to 90 के बीच में, this is called as average, depending upon where you are. 70% है, 80% है, 85% है. So if your graduation score is 70, you are just average, nothing great about it. If you are 85 or 84 or 83, जो भी है, it's not something that you can brag about. I'm putting things in perspective. Because remember, the guys who are getting into the IIMs or the top 20 colleges usually are the guys who have good academic scores. When I say good, they are the people who will be getting that 89, 90 and above. Yes, there are always people who get in at a 80% or 82% also in your 10th and 12th, but they would have really scored very high in their CAT. Or they would have really got some graduation stream, help from the graduation stream because they are from a completely different stream. Or they would have got some really good work experience in terms of the number of months. All these would have affected them positively. So yes, there are students who get at an 82-83% percentage score also, but the number of people who can do that will become lesser. And also, I mean, engineers, if you want to get into the old 6 colleges, and trust me when I say this, 80 or 85 के नीचे 10th and 12th, 80-85 के range में 10th, 12th and graduation in that 60 to 70% range. It's like 1 in a 1,000 or 1 in a 10,000 chance. So you have a 0.01% chance of getting into the old 6 IIMs. Except probably Calcutta, because Calcutta में anything above 80 is considered the same. But all other IIMs give different weightages. 80 के ऊपर है, 90 के ऊपर है, you'll get a different weightage there. So you'll get extra marks there. So that is one of the issues there. Yes, for literature 70 is great. Abhiram, that's what I'm saying. When I say bad, literature is, again, you're coming from the arts background. Arts is an exception. When I say you will get extra marks, that is what I meant. So when I said this, graduation stream matters. So when I said this, usually if you're coming from the arts background where the scoring is not so great, they will consider that 70 in your graduation, in your literature, as good as a 90 in your, or a 85 in your graduation. So yes, it's pretty decent, 70 in literature. Okay, so usually I'm talking about the traditional commerce, the traditional engineering, these streams. If you have less than 80, it's bad. If you are from an obscure stream, then even a 70, 75 is kind of okay, considered decent. Then no work experience. I will not say it is bad per se, but yeah, you will not get any marks. Now this is another question which I wanted to handle. A lot of students ask, sir, should I wait and then write when I have work experience? भाई वहाँ पे लोग बैठे नहीं ना आपके लिए कि आपका 2 साल आ गया तो come into my college. The problem which you guys don't understand is there's no guarantee that the first time you write CAT आपका admission हो जाएगा. Lot of people write CAT twice, thrice, and there are people who write even 4 times. But usually 2 times or the 3rd time people write CAT. What does it mean? If you are writing as a fresher, by chance आपका good luck है and you are getting a very good score, even without work experience, you might get an interview call. Will you say that, sir, नहीं मेरे पास work experience नहीं है, मैं बाद में आऊँगा 2 साल के बाद? You will obviously not say that, right? So you will go, you will give your best shot, or अगर admission हो गया, you will go even without work experience. But I don't understand the fact or the point that many students deliberately don't write CAT till they get 2 years of experience, and they say, sir, मेरे पास experience नहीं था इसलिए मैं नहीं लिख रहा हूँ. ठीक है भाई, you've waited for 2 years, you wrote the CAT exam for the first time. What is the guarantee you will get it? You did not get it. That 2-year experience will become 3 years. Second time भी नहीं आया, the 3 years became 4. Now, within 2 attempts, you went from the most perfect student with respect to work experience to a student who is now overqualified with respect to work experience. Because IIMs don't take students with 4 and above. Not many. I mean, you can count how many students will be there. Out of a batch of 400, probably 15-20 students will be 4 years and above work experience. The bulk of them will be that 1.5 to probably 3.5 years experience. So the fact you need to realize is, the first time you write, there is no guarantee of getting a chance. So please don't wait to accumulate work experience. Accumulation of work experience should be happening along with your CAT, CAT writing or CAT experience. अगर पहले बार नहीं हुआ, you will be getting a 1-year experience. So let's say as a fresher you have written, नहीं हुआ, keep working. You will get 1-year experience. Write again, say next year. अगर हो गया, some marks you would have got in your work experience, good. नहीं हुआ, then move on to another CAT attempt, and by then you'll be having 18 to 24 months of experience, and you'll get really good score for your work experience. So that's how your preparation should be. You should not start your preparation after touching your 2 years or 1.5 years. That doesn't make sense. Okay. And then of course, male, female, there's nothing you can do about it. If you're born a guy, a male, then 0 when it comes to your profile for gender. Okay, so all guys out there listening to me, unfortunately you'll get 0 marks here. Engineer, once again, आपने choose कर लिया है, अभी you will be in probably your 2nd year or 3rd year of engineering. जो हो गया, there's nothing that can be changed. If you're an engineer, you will get again 0 marks for your engineering degree. Yes, if there is there will be 0 advantage, I mean. Okay, so for example, if you get 80% in your engineering, this will be considered equal to a guy who's getting 60% in, let's say, literature. So this is one way in which the institutes will benefit people from non-mainstream backgrounds. Non-mainstream means non-common backgrounds. Let me put it that way. I'll not say literature is not mainstream. Of course it is. Let me use the correct word. I will say it is not common background. Okay, so engineering is very common, so they have enough people with 80 and above, but they want more people from, let's say, literature background. So they will say, Ajay, even if you have 60, that's okay. I will consider you equal to a person getting 80. You come and now give me good performance in your interview. So that's how it works. Okay. Yes. So now this is what is my bare requirement. If you have a good profile, yes, you will have chances in the old IIMs. If you have a bad profile within the IIMs, you still have good chances. Provided your CAT score is good. Please don't lose hope that your profile is bad. As I said, in IIMs, if you just leave out the top 6 IIMs, you still have a total 14 IIMs where you will have a decent chance. Not just that, these are not just, see, not all the IIMs out of the 20 are the top. For example, if you look at XLRI, FMS, SPJN, MDI, all of these are not just the ones that I marked here. The entire gamut of 15, 20 of these that I mentioned over here, these are excellent colleges. I'm for sure, I'm quite certain that quite a few of these colleges, in fact all of these colleges that I've written over here, do not consider the profile when it comes to calling for an interview. For example, XLRI just looks at your XAT score and calls you for the interview. Your FMS just looks at your CAT score and calls for your interview. Similarly, SPJN has two ways in which they can call. They can call you based on profile. They can also call you based on CAT. So if you have got a really good CAT score, they will call you. MDI, CAT score, NITI, CAT score. So all of these do call students based on your CAT score. If your CAT score is really good, you will get in. And quite a few of these are rated and ranked much above the new IIMs and the baby IIMs also. So yes, if you have a dicey profile, some IIMs will not be there for you. That's a fact. But that is not the end of the world. A lot of IIMs are still open, and a lot of colleges which are better than some of the IIMs are also available for you. So do not lose hope, my friends. Keep the practice going on. You have 6 months to CAT. In fact, the coming Sunday, that is 22nd of May, I'm going to do a session on the 6 months preparation strategy for your CAT exam. So please do attend that and subscribe to our channel. If you have just started preparing, we have launched a CAT 2022 comprehensive program. You can call these numbers to get the idea about the program. We have synchronous, which is live classes, asynchronous, which are recorded sessions for the entire CAT syllabus. Right? So that's what I had in store for you. Do not forget to like, put on your comments so that I can understand what part of the session you liked. Share it with your friends, and of course, subscribe if you have not already a subscriber. I hope you enjoyed and understood something about the profile and the importance of the profile, my friends. See you in the next one.